born over a fault line.
Just in case no one has told you, I want you to know that it is okay to not feel okay. I think a lot of times we are pushed this positive narrative, and while I do believe that it's important to think positively and look on the positive sides of things, I think that acknowledging our raw feelings, even if they aren't the most positive, is important because all of your feelings are valid. All of your feelings are necessary, and all of your feelings deserve to be embraced to a certain degree. But I also want you to know that everything will be okay, even if it doesn't feel okay, even if everything feels like it's falling apart. I want you to know that there are positive times coming and to keep going. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Sydney, and I go by the Blind Artisan because I am a visually impaired artist on a mission to become the best artist I can be. And one of my biggest goals has been to not only make the world a little bit more colorful, one painting at a time, but to spread positivity and to encourage you guys to chase your own creative dreams, no matter how big they may seem. And with this goal of spreading positivity, I feel like I've been neglecting the other side of things, maybe the not so positive feelings. But I think it's important to acknowledge that the negative feelings, the not so happy feelings, deserve to take up space, and they play a really big role in the way that I approach my art, and even contributed to the origin of my art practice. So while we live in a world that tells us to keep going and tells us that life moves on, I don't want you to ignore how you feel and to play into it, because I feel like even the not so good feelings can lead to something beautiful. And all in all, as corny as it sounds, all of your feelings are beautiful. This life experience, the fact that we get to feel and to analyze our own experiences is beautiful, and it shouldn't be taken for granted. Typically in my videos, I like to share slices of my life while talking about topics that are important to me and that I am going through currently. And I have recently been going through not feeling okay, waking up in the morning and feeling dread and feeling lost and not knowing exactly why, constantly wondering if I'm on the right path. And while these feelings can be very heavy, something that's been really helping me navigate is by experiencing the world. As someone who is socially anxious, it's really easy for me to just stay inside and to be cooped up, especially because I work from home. But I've noticed that the times that I take to visit the city or to look at local art around me has really helped me look at the bigger picture and recognize how beautiful the world is around me. And even working at coffee shops has allowed me to admire the beauty of the people that are around me, the beauty of the life that I get to live. Because sometimes I take those little things for granted. The fact that I get to live this little human experience and be with other humans is a beautiful experience. And I find that leaving my comfort zone, aka my home, allows me to recognize that and remember that. It also reminds me that I'm not alone, that we all have our own stories, our own things that we're going through. And I guess somehow being around people just serves as a beautiful reminder that we are all living this experience together. And to me, that is comforting. So if you're someone that hasn't been feeling 100%, I encourage you to go out and experience the world. You don't have to be around people, but even taking a walk through nature can just serve as a grounding experience and reminding you that our existence is beautiful, our world is beautiful, and that there is a silver lining to everything.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today.
I suppose I should briefly talk about my art. Right now, I'm currently working on a commission for my friend Leo. They are an amazing artist. They go by Karuja. You can find them on Instagram if you'd like. And yeah, I am basically creating a t-shirt design for them and also a poster design for them using this illustration. And it's been really, really fun working with them and going through the compositions. We came up with a couple of color studies, but landed on this one because it matched their sort of color palette. And I really, really love how it's coming along. I feel like the rendering part is so much fun because anything can happen and it really just brings the whole piece to life. So that's what I'm currently doing right now. And it's been really, really fun just watching this piece evolve because drawing and painting is something that brings me so much joy. So to work on this project has been able to add to that, and I am so grateful. I think when we are feeling in a rut, focusing on things that we love can really help. Like for me, painting and pushing myself to do it because I know that it will not only shed light on the skills that I've been building, but it'll also shed light on the fact that there are still things in this world that bring me happiness. There's honestly so many things in this world that bring me happiness, but oftentimes when I'm feeling in a rut, it's easy for me to feel like those things don't exist. So I want to encourage you to sort of push yourself to do the things that you love, the things that make you happy, even if it takes a little bit of resistance. There's definitely times where I approach the canvas and I don't feel like it, but during the process of doing so, I find that I get into a rhythm and I find that I feel a little bit lighter because for me, painting is something that I feel like I was meant to do. And so in doing so, it feels like I'm reconnecting with my purpose in some way. When we're feeling down, it's easy to feel like our glass is half empty and that there isn't much to look forward to. But I want to encourage you to take a minute to look at the silver lining, whether this means journaling it out and writing things that you're grateful for or things that are working out for you. Something for me that I had to come to realization is that I'm living my dream. That years ago, I wanted to be living this reality, painting for other people, making orders for other people. This was my dream and I'm living it. And just because I'm having a couple of bad days or a bad season doesn't take away from that beautiful, beautiful reality. So I would love to know, what is something that you are grateful for? What is something that you are proud of yourself for? Don't ever underestimate the power of giving yourself credit when it's due, because I feel like that credit that we give ourselves is like our own personal pat on the back, and for me, it keeps me going. Speaking of giving yourself credit, something I've been really proud of myself with are my mugs and how they've been coming out lately. A couple weeks ago, I launched my very first glass mugs, and I've been getting orders these last few days, which has been so awesome. And in the last few days, I've also been making my mugs pretty well, and I'm so proud of myself. Some of you may not know this, but starting out this journey, I struggled a lot with making these mugs. So to come out with this win, it may seem small to some, but it's a really big one for me because it just shows how much growth can happen in such a little bit of time and with just a little bit of practice. So what is your light in today? What is something good that happened today? Even if it's a good cup of coffee, or that it was sunny, or that your favorite days are rainy days, so it was rainy. But take a minute to focus on those really good things that happen, even if they're small. I've noticed that focusing on the small things has really gotten me through some of my hardest days because you're able to see that little glimmer of light, and sometimes that's all you need to hang on to. And this is not to say that you should ignore your feelings. Validate your feelings, write them down, be in your feelings, but also be willing to feel better at your own pace. Recently, I was lucky enough to get my very first hoodie order in a while, and the reason why I say I'm lucky is obviously I'm grateful for your support, but also because I think something that helps me get out of a rut is trying something new. And while I know how to make hoodies and that's not completely new to me, it is something that I don't do so often. So to come back to it was very satisfying and therapeutic, and it brought out this spark that I didn't expect it to. So I think that taking the time to try something new or do something that you don't normally do can sometimes help brighten up your mood, because it reminds you of maybe other things that bring you joy or other things that you're good at that maybe you've forgotten about. I notice that a lot of times when I'm feeling in a rut, some of it has to do with me feeling like I maybe am not good enough, or that I'm not on the right path in life, or that I feel just lost in general. And so coming back to the things that I love, whether it's music or making art or making a hoodie or doing something else that's crafty, has been pivotal for me in my darkest days, and has really helped me get through them and help me give myself credit where it's due, and also has helped me have really great creative and happy moments. So don't underestimate the power of just doing something that you love just because you love it.
Always in bloom for
When I was little and I was going through a really difficult time in my childhood, one of the ways that I decided to express my emotions was through art. I would draw in my sketchbook and I would go through pages and pages and pages just expressing myself and doodling, and even going on YouTube and watching crafty videos or sketching videos and getting inspired. And now here I am, years later, an artist and still creating. And this is all to say that there are beautiful things that can come from expressing yourself when you feel negatively. There are beautiful things that can come from letting your emotions take up space instead of just letting them fester inside of you. Because not only can it lead to maybe a whole creative journey, but it can also resonate with somebody else. I mean, how many times have we listened to sad songs when we're feeling down and they resonate so deeply with us, or witnessed art that just ignited this spark and made us feel seen? It happens more than we expect it to, and that's because all emotions and all feelings deserve to take up space. So yes, it's okay to not feel okay, because those feelings exist for a reason, and if you let them, those feelings can take up space and allow other people to feel seen and allow you to know yourself deeply. So yeah, if there's anything that you take from this video, I want to remind you that it's okay to feel how you're feeling right now. Whether that's happy, sad, cozy, emotional, all of those feelings are valid, and all of those feelings exist for a reason. And learning to accept them is the ultimate act of self-love. Learning to give yourself space and grace when you're not feeling okay is an act of self-love and self-acceptance. So if you take anything away from this video, remember it's okay to not be okay, that there's so much power in what you're feeling right now, and that even though things don't feel okay, you will be. With all that being said, I'm giving you the biggest virtual hug. Remember, you're not alone, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.